to the 4040 Network. I am your host, Granny She Is,
That's
and I
right.
am joined by who am I joined by? Who am I joined by?
Joined by Jay Hawk, right? Jonathan J. Hawk Hawkins, co-host with the most. And glad that we are back. I'm gonna kick it over to the CEO. Whoa.
Mr.
Well,
CEO is what my title say. That's right. The host is in the building. Dwayne Sutton, a CEO of IMO Media Group, host of IMO Podcast. And I'm excited to be here. And look, y'all, we apologize for the tardiness tonight.
right.
We're dealing with the sick and shut in down here.
I know,
But
right?
baby, we just glad to have you here.
Hey y'all, we on CP time, goddamn it. Get it right.
I am glad to be here. Y'all, excuse my background. If you haven't been following me on social media, or this is your first time watching the 4040 Network, we talk about life after divorce, and we talk about everything and anything else we fucking want to
Mhm.
because it's our show, and we can do
That's
that.
true. That's true.
But I fell and broke my leg. It's
Say that
finished
again for the people
now.
in the back. Say that for the
I
people in the
fell,
back.
y'all. I fell in my kitchen and broke my leg. I'm going to spare you the details. This is very personal, and it was quite the traumatic fall. I have a compound um break. That means both my tibia and my fibia broke, pierced through the skin. My ankle is completely shattered. They had to piecemeal it back together. I have tons of screws, titanium rods, and metal plates currently in my foot. And I'm limited in my mobility. So I currently have it iced and it's propped up. But I said, forget it. The show is going to go on regardless because it's too much happening for us not to talk to. And this actually is a bit of therapy for me because during this podcast, I get to let out and release and talk about the things that are on my mind, and it helps me sleep better at night. So here we are. Thank you all for joining the Sick and Shut In. And if you would like to donate to help me recover, there it is on GoFundMe. We will make sure that we have it in the description link below. Please share it because I had to terminate my contract. I was under contract with the company for some human resources work. I had to terminate that contract and move in with my parents. This is my parents' spare bedroom. That's why you see stuff everywhere because I'm moving in until I
Getting
can
it,
take
bro.
care
Yeah.
of myself. The break was so bad that I probably will not walk the same again. So that's how bad it is.
No.
I will be able to walk, just not the same. It's that bad.
Y'all, you know what?
So
Life has
y'all
been
keep me in
lifing for a
prayer.
lot
Life
of
is
us.
hard. Yeah, life is hard.
However, we ask you guys, if you were in certain situations, what
Mhm.
I'm saying, if you were in something similar, just give, because life has been lifing for a lot of us.
Yeah,
But, but guess what? The come up is going to be so much better
I'm telling
for
you,
all of us. You
it
know what I'm
really
saying?
is.
Bruh,
So,
that just
So
sounds
now look,
horrible.
y'all keep me in prayer. Now I'm not looking for sympathy.
hmm
Like you said, put if you could put yourself in my shoes, but definitely
hmm
give because baby, I have signed up for every free program in life I could think of, and I'm looking for some more. So if you have some suggestions on other things that I can apply for, y'all already know I done hit them yamps up. Y'all know I done hit them yamps up. So don't put yamps in the comments. Okay, I got it covered. I got the yamps covered. Any other free kind of stuff, send it my way. Put it in the comments because I need all the help I can get. I'm humble enough to say that. So thank you.
hmm
Now we got some shit to talk about. Oh my goodness, do we got some stuff to talk about? I've
What
been
we got to talk about? What we got to talk about, y'all?
been all on the
What we got to talk
news.
about?
I've been all on the news, and I'm gonna tell you something that brought me so much joy. And I didn't think it would bring me so much joy, but it did. That plantation that burned down over there in what Cottondale, Cottonwood, whatever the name of that town is
In
in
Louisiana?
Louisiana.
Oh my gosh. You
Oh,
mean the whole plantation?
the
I heard it was
ancestors
big.
are free. The ancestors are rejoicing. You hear me? They like
I
this.
I heard it was a
Hallelujah.
5,000 square foot mansion. That's
Yeah.
huge. that was built by forced African labor.
Yes, it was.
And that
It
means
was
they were never paid a dime for the
for
forced
the labor.
labor for them to build that place that was making money even till today until oops.
And look, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the article while Wayne
Wale,
shows you
wale.
all the clip of that burning plantation, one of the largest, burned down now, gone.
Y'all go ahead and get your links out.
Hey, we just gonna have a
Get them
moment.
next to the fire.
We gonna just I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna just turn this into a whole Negro spiritual. So y'all just
We are.
let's just have a moment real quick.
Let's have a moment. Yeah, I'm ready.
Let my people go. Go down, Moses.
To my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. I'm going home to my Lord and be free.
Sorry, y'all heard me singing, baby. I had to turn up the volume. It had muted on me, baby. I had to turn on the volume. Cause listen,
Yes. Yes.
before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord. Oh, my soul.
And be free.
Hallelujah. Y'all, the ancestors are free. I don't care what nobody say. That made my entire
You know,
day.
I actually love the fact that there's some when we have symbols of enslavement, African enslavement, that are just burned, destroyed beyond recognition. It makes my soul glad
In mine too.
because that place that was a concentration camp for enslaved Africans.
I got it for you right here. Associated Press. I have a little bit of the article. So
Please share.
we're gonna share a little bit of it. I don't have a clip of it or anything like this, but we'll put it in the description box below. That way you all can read it for yourself. But it's from the Associated Press. It says video of the Nottoway plantation fire sparks jubilation. It's about anger and pain over slavery too. And so this is what they had to say about it. If you go to my Instagram page, I did post that reel that you just saw with the entire article under it from CBS. But it says after a fire engulfed a mansion at Louisiana's Nottoway Plantation, one of the largest remaining pre-Civil War houses in the Deep South, where scores of enslaved Africans labored. Video footage of the combusted landmark lit the internet ablaze with mass jubilation and consternation over the weekend. So I'm gonna skip down a little bit. People said that were there in the area, they went and watched Nottoway Plantation burn to the ground. Historian Maya Crawford Johnson wrote in her Instagram caption, grinning all the way. Someone had bought the property. They were using the property for weddings as a resort. You could tour it. They romanticized slavery. We talked about
We
this
sure
before with
did.
these big plantation homes, that they romanticized slavery. And what people fail to talk about, and we still don't talk about it because it's so gross, back during slavery time, not only did they use us as free labor, they treated us as cows and pigs. They slaughtered us for our skin, for which they made shoes and purses and
Mm-hmm.
belts, which they wore
Mm-hmm.
with pride.
Absolutely right.
And
Look,
if they
you know,
went that far to turn our skin into leather goods to sell in America and across the world, you can't sit here and tell me they did not eat us too. People don't.
I'm telling you, so that there are books, there are legitimately scholarly books and papers that share what happened to people. For instance, there was a certain preacher that his name was Nat Turner,
Mm,
led a
Yep.
rebellion.
mm.
After Nat was killed,
You gonna go there?
his head was given to a person as a keepsake. The rest of his body was skinned and to make purses and belts. His muscles and sinew were consumed.
Mhm.
What does consumed mean?
We know.
It was eaten, and his skeleton was sent to a nearby university to be used for science.
Yes.
That was for Nat Turner, and
What
that's
most
been documented.
The fuck?
Absolutely, and he wasn't the only one.
He was
There's
not.
plenty of people that have used the hair
let me
from the enslaved Africans to make cushions for their pillows
Right.
on their bed. Yes.
let me just make this real clear, man. So all this attacking that's going down with DEI, and then you coming for the African American history museums, and you coming for our culture and everything like that. Your focus is elsewhere. You're trying to hide the devil. The devil lives hard in this country.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff that needs to be exposed. You talk about that makes your children of the fairer skin feel shamed and everything like that, to know that they need to know their history, because any history that isn't known is destined to repeat itself.
Very true. Very true. It
So
is destined to.
you
But you think
realize all of
your
this
great grandfather, what kind of
tension that's,
monster he
that's
was?
coming in the back and forth that's taking place, and you see the lines being drawn. And I'm telling you right now, if you really want to create a united states, we need to focus more on actually uniting the people,
Mm-hmm.
expose the truth, and let's move forward. Acknowledge what happened, right the wrongs, and let's move forward. Otherwise, we're gonna keep flapping these fans while y'all out here going through this foolishness.
Very true.
You
Now
know,
we
so
have some groups that are doing that on both sides, but what's making it so much harder for, I think, the black community and the white community to come together, because I follow a white guy on Instagram who has organized a lot of the boycotts that's happening and doing great with it all over the United States.
are you talking about
So
the Jolly Ginger? Not
no,
him. Oh,
no,
okay.
I do like
not
that guy though. He is an
he's
ally.
good too. So we're not going to, and apparently, and this is just a side note, the black community has decided to adopt all gingers.
Yeah,
Got that
I've kind.
update on
You
the
know what?
TikTok the other
I
day.
think that was just on TikTok. I don't
Got
know
that on
because
the I saw it on Instagram. I saw it on Instagram too, but I saw
I,
it on TikTok.
I saw one ginger. I can't even lie. I saw one ginger.
Mhm.
I was on TV and my wife and I were watching, and she said, "Oh my God, he looks like our son-in-law." And I was like, "He does."
So, gingers, I guess welcome,
Mhm.
welcome, welcome, welcome to the community. Take a seat, have a seat. Don't do too much though. Don't do too much, okay? Gonna let y'all know already. You cannot use the N word. I don't care how gingery you are, and I don't care that a prince married a black woman. You still can't say it,
Hey, look here, man. Your
okay?
skin struggles to absorb and retain melanin. Y'all call it what you want to. I'm straight, bro.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. But there are efforts being made for both sides to work together. What has hurt so bad in us coming together is not only the current political climate, which I'm
Mhm.
not going to delve into that shitty mess. And I do mean
Mhm.
shitty mess. I cannot find the clip for the life of me. But Trump sat his ass over there in France at some kind of conference committee and shitted on himself. And people are around here acting like it didn't happen, and it did. Side note, let me get back
Hey,
to
wait,
what I
wait,
was
wait. You
talking
mean
about.
like verbally?
No, I mean like he pooed in his pants.
See, that's the bullshit right there. That's bullshit right there, right there.
And you could see, and that is the bullshit right there. Thank you, Stephen A. Smith, for jumping in here. But yes, and they had the video clip, and you could see the other people sitting around him, like literally holding their nose. And it must have been bad because the people on the other side of the little aisle were also looking at him. And they said that was reportedly in France. Now, I'm going to say allegedly, but this
Okay,
allegedly, throw that
I,
out there.
I want to caution this because I've understood from people who've been to France. I've talked
Mhm.
to my family members who've been there. Uh, there's a lot of parts of France that's dirty and smelly,
This
right?
didn't look like that part.
And so even though you're in France, and some of the when I say some of the, I don't know if the hygiene in some areas of France actually meet what we are used to as in Americans.
But here's the thing.
But for him to smell so bad that the French were like,
What? Yeah, that's a problem.
it's
If the French people are turning their nose up at you and they are known to be the funky ones, we've got a problem. Okay? God dang it. So anyway, I digress once again. Let me come back to what I
okay.
was saying. I keep getting sidetracked. It's like y'all know everybody had that pissy person in school.
Uh-uh.
It's like having a pissy person in school, and then somebody else fart or they smell so bad that even the pissy person is like, damn.
The fuck? Shit.
So I'm gonna just say this.
What?
That's horrible. I mean, what does the okay? What does the international world think of us? This is who we choose to be
Well,
our,
first of all,
our
right now,
leader.
Okay, wait. Oh, let me finish my point because I went off three different directions. I went off down three different dirt roads in the dirty
Mhm.
south, and I'm sorry. I'm back. What keeps us from coming together is not only the current administration and their platform to divide through hate.
right?
The other part of this equation that we don't talk about because we've been so entrenched in it is that religion also keeps us divided. Not spirituality, not the God you serve, but the religion that is indoctrinated into us in churches keeps us divided. No one ever talks about that. It's not only just political divisions and racial divisions. There are also religious divisions that keeps us from really coming together. I saw a post by Malcolm X to say that says this today.
By
It
the way,
said, we're
yep.
not outnumbered. We are out
Mhm.
organized.
You know what?
And
There
that
you
is a
go.
problem.
That's perfect. Now, I'm
Facts.
glad you said that because yesterday made
Mm.
uh Malcolm X would have made 100 years
I'm
old
100 years old.
yesterday. So
Happy
happy
belated
birthday,
birthday to the late.
to the late Minister
Mm.
Malcolm X,
Look,
El Hajj
me,
Malik El Shabazz.
Very.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And also, uh, you are so right. We are out organized.
Yeah.
So how do we change
Well
that?
organized.
What do we do?
organization starts with proper leadership.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys said on Remember the Titans? Attitude reflect leadership.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true. That's
And
true.
it's the
And
leadership or lack thereof
Mm-hmm.
that we suffer from.
Mhm.
Like, I know there's some people who might say, well, y'all sitting behind a camera talking about it. First of all, we just having the conversations. These are necessary conversations. And then there'll be some people, what are y'all actually doing? Trust me. Trust me. I'm willing to stand 10 toes down. I'm willing to jump into the dog fight. Anything that's worth having,
Mm-hmm.
me truthfully, anything that is worth having, worth fighting for, is worth dying for.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem, no hesitation putting a life on the line for my people. But now, my people don't always look like us.
No, they
You know,
don't.
I've learned, and so that's where I want to fight for my people, but I will not fight for ignorance.
Mhm.
I will not fight for willful stupidity.
Right.
You feel me? I just will not do it on those things.
Mhm.
But we do need to find a way, and that's another thing too. People are hesitant to grab hold of leadership
Mhm.
because of previous incompetence.
Mhm.
Because if you look at our leaders from the 80s
Mhm.
and where they are, I mean, like there are certain people who hold Jesse Jackson in high regard, and there's other who's that's an absolute joke. Same
Mhm.
thing with Al Sharpton. And so when you see the ones who are willing to step into the roles of leadership get ridiculed and mocked, it's like, why would I do this? But then
Mhm.
there were other leaders who were fierce and bold, and you just mentioned one of them in Malcolm, and there was another one in Martin, and there's another one in Vernon Damer, and there's been plenty others, and
Mhm.
those men that I've named are in the grave. So people are going, why would I want to do that?
It's because they should have learned the lesson from whatever the mistakes were that our previous forefathers and ancestors made. That doesn't mean stop working. It doesn't mean stop the fight. It means learn from that and incorporate it and
You
move
got to be
forward.
strong to
And we have
handle
some
all that.
strong female leaders today. I just hate that this whole entire country, not only is it set up on systemic racism, it's set up on patriarchy and misogyny. So people aren't really listening to the female black leaders the way they did the black male leaders. And today I don't see too many. Corey, what's his name? Baker, maybe him, but I haven't seen too many other ones step up to the plate.
Booker. You talking about
And
Cory Booker?
here are the things we
Yeah.
are working on things in the background. Some things we work on in the background that cannot be explained here on YouTube Live or
Right.
another social
Mhm.
media platform. Because when we're organizing, you can't let the enemy know what you're doing.
I will say this too, because I know we're gonna probably get off into this a little bit later too.
Yeah,
There were women in the forefront when it came to leadership of this movement
yeah, it was.
back then, but they also had the men backing them, the support of the men backing
Mhm.
them, and that is trash now.
Yeah,
I have
it is.
seen the division between men and women, especially black and women, is taking a very bitter turn.
Hmm.
And it's bigger than just dating now. Y'all really
Mhm.
starting to show yourselves,
I've had
fellas.
my own encounter. We're
Mhm.
gonna talk about it a little later, which
Yes.
was a surprise to
Mhm.
me. I'm
Right.
surprised,
And
but
it's, it's
I
And
don't
you know what?
understand that division, how that happened, how we got to that point.
It's been
Um,
manufactured. It's been manufactured. It's been manufactured, and people have bought into something that's, some people,
that's
they
heartbreaking.
want to believe they want to believe anything besides themselves. It could be the issue for them not hitting the mark, not being successful. So they're so keen to believe that it's somebody else's fault. There are so many men out there willing to put the blame on women, particularly black women. There's a reason why they can't have families, and some of them are incels,
Mhm.
involuntarily celibate, and all of that, which is it's a headache within itself. Like there are millions of women. Women are not a monolith. You have women who believe one thing, women who believe another. You have it's an array. Find you a good woman. They're out there. Trust me.
Oh yes,
All
they
right.
are out there. They
They're
are
out
out there.
there. But are you a good enough man, and can you lead a family without just saying, "Oh man, I need to be a leader"? Do you have leadership qualities in order to lead a family?
let
Oh.
me
You
let
know.
me say this real quick before we
Mhm.
move on, because I want to make sure, and Cheryl, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this. Um, when it comes to me personally,
Mhm.
not only just my pocket, but I am on Media Group. I created a space strictly for the ladies. Okay. I
Mhm.
called it Ladies Night, which we've gone 2 rounds of it, and I'm pretty sure we'll come back around with a third one. We'll get some production going on with that. But I did that because I couldn't just talk about this on my podcast. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want women to know that I am an ally, and I want to know. I want you to know that I care about you. I want to know that your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams, your goals, they all matter. The experiences that you've had, your stories, they need to be told. Other women need to hear them. Other men need to hear them as well. Not necessarily speak on it or speak over it, but listen. And so I just wanted to create a platform for that when I created Ladies Night. I had Cheryl on the previous one when they did Ladies Night too. Actually, we had all the women that we had at the time with the media group on there.
Right.
And we're gonna come back around for a third round on that one. But just going forward, I want all the women who see this to understand when you see men get irritated by the wording that is being used, when you say men or all men, and it's like, no, because there are some of us who are willing to get in the trenches with you, who are willing to stand beside you, who are willing to say whatever I have so you can elevate your voice, your platform, whatever. Here, take it, use it, run with it, because you need to be heard. And so I just want to make sure that is known. That is known.
You know what, Woe?
Man, huh?
Over 80% of black men showed up in the last election to say that.
We did, bro.
Over 80%.
We did. I don't think that gets enough recognition though either.
Yep.
I don't think it gets enough recognition.
Yep, over 80% of us.
Because there was still, it wasn't 100% of us. It wasn't 100% of black women either. But do I think the number should have been higher? Definitely. Especially when you hear some of the foolishness as to why they didn't show up.
Yeah.
Instead of giving a woman a chance, a black woman a chance, you try to, well, she ain't 100% black. None of us. You want to be real in America? Who really is?
As a matter of fact, the other person she was running it was like 0% black. So anyway,
all right, quick question. I'm so sorry. Can you all hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. Okay? I can hear you fine.
Do you hear any background noise?
I don't hear background noise.
No, okay. I don't.
I live in a house with other people, and I had to switch. I'm sorry, y'all saw my hand. I had to switch to this mic.
The fluffy mic. The
fluffy mic, because other people live here and they're very loud all of a sudden. So sorry, but Wayne, you're right on the money. You are definitely an ally. I can definitely attest to that. So is Jonathan, no doubt about it. And you all work within your own communities to make sure that the black community is seen about, that we have what we need as a community. And I try to play my part and do my part here in my community. I'm no longer in Bogalusa, but I do what I can there. And I even started building community in Mandeville where I was living, so.
Oh, can I give a shout out to somebody? So I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to. So we have internet sensation. If you guys probably know her, you probably know of her. Her name is Judge Vonda B. Right? She's been, you've seen her on everywhere, right? As far as her clips from her show. Well, she is not only just an internet judge, but she is a real judge for the 255th in Dallas. She's back up for re-election. So, guys, if you're in Dallas County, you know what to do. Vote for Judge Vonda B.
Hey, that's love.
And I
do want to ask a question, and I want our viewers. We appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Especially if you're of the male, species. What is it that you feel that we need to do to better support our women?
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great. That should be a part of a clip right there and put out.
I'll put it out. I got
black women. What can black men do to support you better?
I want to hear.
Listen, brothers. Just listen. Don't respond. Just listen.
I want to hear from men too, because I think there are some brothers out here who feel the way I feel the way we feel, and may not actually know how to go about it, or may have ideas and not necessarily sure how to bring things to fruition. So I'm like, if you got some knowledge you want to drop, please hit the comments. But ladies, shine on, please. And please don't take this as a moment to bash.
Oh, no.
We really just genuinely want to hear from you.
Right.
You understand?
We're not doing that bash and stuff. That it's so many things we deal with, not only as children but as teenagers, because we got so many different things inside of us we haven't dealt with. Childhood hurt, not just trauma, childhood hurt when your feelings are hurt, teenage trauma and hurt, early 20s, before we were 25. Shit we're trying to deal with, didn't understand in school or in life or in relationships or wherever we found ourselves. And then 25 hit and we're fully adult at that point. We're still trying to process all the shit that we never got a chance to. In the world and society and our jobs are telling us you still got to get out here and function like a normal adult. We have no idea what that is. I'm 49 years old. I think I might be 1/4 the way there to figuring out life.
But there's some people who really believe that that
So
they
it's
got
time
they
it gets
they have
difficult.
the answers because their financial situation looks better than others.
Right.
But life still is bigger than that.
Way bigger. And they
And
miss
that's
their
what
blessings. They
it
miss their
concerns
blessings
me.
because they think only the money is the blessing. And because
Right.
I have the money, I'm a high value man or woman. No, you are not. You're a piece of shit. If your soul and your heart and your mind does not carry kindness, abundance, love, gentleness, empathy, and if all you run on is selfishness and let me chase the bag and fuck everybody else, you are a piece of shit. And you
And that
smell
goes
like
for your
Donald Trump shit. That
who
goes for
that's exactly
anybody.
what you're saying. That goes for those because that's a big chunk of the reason why I heard people voted for Orange Juice. Because they were so concerned about their own bag and their own lineage, making sure my kids are sure. What you didn't realize, if you make 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, guess what? You still don't make the money that they require you to make to
Very
be
simple.
somebody. They've made it known. If you ain't hitting 400,000 or better, you ain't shit.
You're poor.
They've made it known. Your
It's
200,000 is the same as somebody's 60,000.
pretty much.
You ain't shit. So you voted for that dude because you thought you was in a different tax bracket, and you make six figures, and you live in a nice community, and your kids go to private school, and you thought you were safe. You were living in your financial bubble.
Mm-hmm.
They still were looking at you like I'll buy you.
Mm-hmm.
Look, and,
That's
and
how
I'll pay
yeah.
interest too, just because I can, and then
Look,
turn around and use you for whatever I want to.
that's how Diddy got in the position he's in. But before we get on Diddy, it goes back to what you said about us. We're out organized because we don't come together. Or something that Wayne said that stuck with me. But it's selfishness. We call it crabs in the bucket, but let's just call a spade a spade. It is selfishness. That financial bubble, those people who think they are free and blessed because they have all this money. It's not that that is crabs in a bucket. It's just that I got mine. I can't tell you how many times I heard that as a young mother raising children. I got mine, baby. You got to get yours. I raised my children. You got to do your. I got mine. You got to get yours. We have got to get out of that mentality in this
But you know
community.
what? I'm glad you said that because that was not the mentality just 2 or 3 generations ago. Because
It was.
our community was a community. So okay, I'm gonna break
It was
into
if I
crazy
make it to
stuff.
the top, you're supposed to reach back and pull the next man up.
Oh no,
and so
it's
forth
all
and
of
so
us are making it together. So
Right.
communism and commune and community all sound alike for a reason, right? So with the community, and people are gonna say this, oh, I'm not a communist or whatever, it don't matter. But however, if it's like, hey, if I got sugar, you got sugar.
Right.
Back in the day.
That's what it
You
was.
could come over. If I got something, you got something. Those are not just your kids; these are our kids.
Our
because
kids.
Miss So and So can see you downtown acting up, and she gonna get on you, and then she gonna call your mom and daddy, and you gonna get a whoop when you get home. But she gonna whoop your butt downtown because it was a community, and it was not individualism. See, America prides itself on rugged individualism, right? It says that, but behind the scenes, you have corporate welfare. That's a whole nother thing, right?
Everybody helping everybody. They helping each other out.
Right.
That's
You scratch
the
my back, I'll
community.
scratch yours.
That's the community. We all rose together, and we were all interwoven. We were interdependent upon each other in the community because we all bubbled. Now, when you put in that rugged individualism, I got mine, you need to get yours. It destroys that, right? It destroys the community. So, what do we do? Where do we go from here?
Well, it looks like, and this is just me, and I tell people all the time, I'm not a psychic, but the way it looks down the road to me is that we are circling back to the bubble of the Black community, not because it's going to be out of necessity that we come together. More so than say for any type of capital gain, because clearly you can see it happening already with the dissolution of DEI, with them rolling back the Civil Rights Act. We're going to have to come together just solely out of conservation for us as an ethnic group of people in America. We are Americans. Before they put color on us, by the way, that is a social construct. Racism is a social construct. When they ask you on those forms about what's your race, that's a made up concept. Okay, people get up in arms about the trans community. Again, a social construct. Your gender can be whatever you want it to be if you want it to be it. And as Thor said in the Avengers, aren't all words just made up words?
Yep, that's it.
But we're going to have to. I feel like the way the world is moving, the way things are going with the laws, as a community, we're going to have to start bartering, talking to each other, teaching our own children. You can go back and watch clips back from the 60s and 70s where we were educating our own children and teaching them what they used to call it back in the day, reading, writing,
and arithmetic. As a matter of fact, we don't have to even go that far.
Right.
In the community where Granny and I grew up, there's a high school there. It's a junior high now, but it was Alexander High School where it had top-notch math and science and reading because the community actually pitched in together for all those kids at that time to have the best in Brookhaven, Mississippi. So even they created the first indoor basketball gym, which we call the Teen Center, in which other HBCUs used to come to have their basketball games. So group economics does work.
Right.
Community group economics does work. Now we're in the position to rediscover that because we left that during integration.
Right. That's you just said something. That's the breakdown.
That's the breakdown.
That's the crack in the foundation. We didn't realize it when it happened. Now, Martin Luther King Jr., the late Martin Luther King Jr., he recognized the crack once the deed was signed. He saw the fault in the foundation.
He said, I fear I have integrated my people into a burning house. Now we see the crack, the foundation is crumbling. We are standing on a piece of a foundation. I feel like we're standing in the middle of what used to be one piece of land, and all of the land has broken down around of us, and we're on this island. I want to add something to what you're saying.
Our options are becoming fewer and fewer, so we got to figure it out how to survive, right? What you say?
I say, you mean like Africa? Like what the world looked like before it divided?
Yeah, and it's a young man in Africa right now. Did I share that clip with you? He spoke out on behalf of Africa as a whole. I have that clip somewhere. I'm gonna send it to you later.
I want to add something to what you're saying and what you're just. But yeah, we had that light bulb moment. So there was a young Malcolm right before he passed away, after he had become disillusioned with what was called the Nation of Islam, and he created his own organization because he mentioned to them, We're not getting beat over the head because you're Christian, I'm Muslim, he's agnostic or atheist. We all get beat over the head because we are black. And so he and several other figures are, because he was meeting with other people around the world, started an organization, and it was it was an organization for economic development of people that look like us. How to pool your money together, take it out of other communities, and pool your money together. Cooperative economics inside of community. That's when he and 3 others who had started this movement around the world, just one Malcolm, were assassinated. So,
well, I gotta find this young man's name because I need for everybody to know his name. While we're talking,
you talking about the young man right now that's in South Africa that's getting so much hate because he's speaking the truth, and
he's speaking the truth, but he told them he is a soldier, so he already coming out letting them know, if you want to bring the fight, okay? Because I'm not. He said he's not a well-spoken political person. He is a soldier. He is a leader of his people. Oh, he touched my heart. I said, okay, sir. All right, I'm with you. Well, I gotta find his name though. Give me a minute. Let me find his name. I might then come loose here.
I think also too, another thing we got to take in consideration though is when we're talking about in comparison to where we were as a community, as of blackness and our people back in the 60s versus 60 years later, it's kind of like the dating field with this. We got some unhealed trauma within our own community.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people are very selfish. They have been hurt. They have wounds from within our community. And instead of making it a one-off, they don't trust nobody. See, for us to do the things that we need to do, like you were talking about, putting money together, you got to trust somebody.
Right.
You got to trust that these people or this person has the same interest or your best interest in heart, the same way that they would their own household. And unfortunately, that is just not the case now. The way we grew up, you talked about, how there was the neighbors across the street and the people from the church who, if you got caught doing something wrong, they would get a hold to you.
Right.
Before you even made it home to get the grand finale. Now you got people who's been so traumatized by all this stuff, they go, don't touch my kid. And they're willing to shoot behind that. Yeah, and it's like, it's not that serious. I just don't want your kid to end up in jail or in the grave. And I know you're not here seeing what I'm seeing, but as a reasonable, responsible adult, you telling me I can't assist in that area? I get it. I mean, but that's how far off we are now. We are way off track, and we got to do some healing internally with ourselves and our community, our people, before we can really transition forward.
This is very true, and that's what I wanted to point out about. His name is Captain Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore. And they are dubbing him new president of United Africa and its diaspora. I'm going to send it to y'all later. It's a speech that he made, and he made me proud. He really did. And he was talking about the things you were just mentioning, Wayne, among other things. And he was even going so far as to say that Africa is not the world's mining system. It is not the world's agriculture system. He was so articulate in how he spoke. And I forgot, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. But trust me, y'all, when you hyped up on pain meds, you kind of forget about some of the stuff you want to put in your show. But Captain Ibrahim Traore, I'll have his information plus a link to the video in the description box below so y'all can check him out. But he's starting that movement, and I think he understands, like about a lot of us understand. I don't know if we're ready for it in America. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if we're ready for this. He understands that war may be a possibility. Not saying that it is. He understands that they must defend their communities by any means necessary. He didn't have to say that in his words for you to understand the undertones of what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you that man is serious and he got all of Africa behind him. I
Mm-hmm.
think if you found someone that opposed this man, Captain Ibrahim Traore today, they would automatically be labeled a traitor or a sellout, or somebody paid them to go against this man. That's how much power he's wielding right now.
I'm gonna
I
tell
would
you,
love to see that in America, in
we
Black
can't
community America. I
we
don't know
can't
Well,
who
get
you are.
past any word.
well,
We can't get past calling each
Right.
other nigga. Like I don't view my people as that because I think we're better than that.
Right.
I don't care how you want to twist it and take the ERs and the A's on it. Um, it's never really had a good sentiment behind it. It never has. I don't care how many rap songs you done heard in, how many of your partners done said it to you, how many of your drunk uncles done called you that, trying to be cool with you, whatever.
Mhm.
It's not, it's just not what you think it is. But
oh,
me saying that out
YNs.
loud,
Don't even say it. YNs. We
them
people say
too.
it now. YNs. That's one of them YNs.
I really
But
don't like that. I don't
it's
like
still
that
all the
very
same.
much. Yeah.
YNs, ends, and
I
none of it
know.
ever has any good sentiment
Context
behind
to
it at all. None of it. So when I say something about it, then they look at you like, oh, you think you better than us, or you a sellout and this. No, I'm just not that. And I think you're better than that.
Mhm.
Forgive me for thinking or trying to speak life into you, trying to actually convince you you're not who they say you are. Because
Mhm.
when somebody show up late, what they call you? Niggas. When somebody acting ignorant, what they call you?
Oh, definitely. You a nigga
Niggas.
for sure. No, absolutely.
When somebody's uneducated, what the white people call you? Niggas.
Yep.
So let's flip it. And if the skin tone looks different, if they're late, then they're fashionably late. If they're white, if they're acting ignorant, that so they're just a bit passionate about what happened. And what was the last one you said? If you're what? What was-
Boy, you just trying to make me remember something. No, we
I
getting off that.
I know, right? I
so so
think
so you see the difference, right? So there's a difference, right? So if you're late as a black person, then you're on
Yeah,
CPT,
yeah,
or
most
yeah.
you
definitely.
or
Niggas,
you in the N
you
word.
know they
You
gonna say
know,
niggas can't get that together. Can y'all still hear
hmm
me okay? Am I
we
loud
can hear you.
enough?
We
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. We can hear you.
Okay, so we're gonna
But if
move
you're
on because I
Mhm.
love y'all, but I have to rest this leg and I want to talk about the Diddy trial. Oh gee.
Where's the
I want
popcorn?
Now
Where's the
listen, we're gonna
popcorn?
come back to some of these more serious subjects, but we're
Mhm,
gonna have to roll it into the next part of the
mhm.
show, which will be next week. So y'all come back because I want to talk some more about Captain Traore. I really want to talk about that. I really do, y'all. I want to talk about another video that I had pulled down about Cam Newton. I actually have a short of it up on my um I have a short of that up on my YouTube channel of his face as the Muslim brother was telling the women to learn your worth and get back behind the counter where the valuables are. And if you would stay your
Mm.
hind parts back there, you would have more holy matrimonies and more
Ooh.
real connections. That was so deep, y'all. I
Woe
want to
said,
talk about
look,
that.
Woe said it in a very simpler way. I'm sorry, I'm not as educated as brother, but I've been saying it for the longest.
Right.
Stop giving girlfriend privileges, or excuse me, wife privileges to someone you don't even have a title for.
Very true. I
I,
had to learn
I've,
it the hard
I've been
way.
saying this. Why? Because I know many women. I've had many different discussions,
Mhm.
not just from what things that I have done to them, but because I do communicate. Here's one thing you need to learn about me. I rock with anybody. But when it comes to conversations, I talk to women. They have way better conversations than me.
Oh,
And
much better.
and in my learning, I've also found out women can be full of shit too. Um, but I think they call them the pick me's now. I'm not gonna say that. But there have been many
Yeah.
women who have been giving of themselves without a man doing anything. I've known women who have given their body, who have cooked meals, who've left their children unattended.
Because that's crazy right there. But okay.
They've done these things in hopes that this man will be the one. And my rebuttal is, has he told you he wanted a relationship?
No.
Has he even taken you out on a date?
No.
Does he know anything? Does he even really know what your last name is?
That's an important question, y'all. It really is.
Because
Or your
did you
street
know
name.
there are some people who could,
Or your street
they call
name.
you Yo, I was just gonna say they call you a nickname because they don't, and it seems like it's significant, but they just don't really want to remember your real, because
Right.
you ain't really around for that. So all I've ever said, and what you finna go into, if you aren't the girlfriend or the wife, why are you giving the best of yourself away?
Mhm.
And he ain't done nothing to earn it.
Right.
Why you casting your pearls before swine?
Same
Asking
thing,
girls for
fellas.
swine. Yes, yeah,
If you
true.
leave with money, don't be whining 2-3 years down the road like, oh, she wanted money. That's all you ever
That's all
showed
you
her.
led with. That's the first foot you put forward, sir, was your money. Just like with a
Hey,
lot of us ladies, the first foot we put forward is that kitty cat. And I ain't gonna tell y'all, I'm not sitting and tell y'all I'm immune. I done did it myself. Especially considering how long ago it was I got married. It was different back then. My ex and I dated for a year before we even had intercourse. And I probably should have waited longer than that, way longer, because I was way too young to be doing the stuff I was doing. Okay. And the courtship was different. He made an effort to come see me. He made the plans. Okay. He chose the restaurants. If we went on an activity, bowling, shopping, um, pool, whatever, playing pool, going to a water park, going to the beach, all I had to do was get in the car, pack a
so
bag and get in the car. And when it came down to proposing, he did it the traditional way. He had dinner with my father and he asked for my hand in marriage
They don't do
before
that
he
no
could
more. You
even.
know why?
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
You know why though?
But
they
They
think
don't
it's
have to.
black. They think it's black respectability, and it's old school.
that's
And
not old
it's
school.
But
in.
they don't have to. Women aren't holding that standard anymore. I'm keeping it a buck. Again, like I told you, the same way that those multiple women that I've told you have done those things. Like I said, what did he do to earn that? He
Not a
he didn't have
multi
to do a
thing.
thing. He
He ain't
was
done
able to
a
get the
multi
best out of
thing.
you physically. He was able to get a hot meal out of you. He was able to take a good nap in your bed, or even if he didn't feel like leaving his house, he was able to convince you to leave your house after midnight with your children unattended,
Now, ain't that crazy?
just so you can come and tend to him. And what did he do to earn such privilege?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's
Well,
just
So
the
is it
folks
really
that he
his
was.
fault?
you know
Is it
what?
really his fault? Now I'll say it
DMX
as a
said
man.
it. DMX said it.
That's a pathetic man. I'll say that,
Yeah.
but I can't say he's at fault for a woman giving freely without making him work for it.
Right. He is a manipulative man, no doubt about it. But the choice, and I've been telling my girls this, I have 3 adult daughters, and you never stop being a parent. The choice is ultimately yours to say yes or no to his request for you to come over, or for his request to allow him to come to your house. And even in
Mhm.
that, the choice is still yours to have intercourse and do all this other stuff or not. So you cannot be upset when you
Let
don't
me
ask
back
the
up.
necessary questions that you need to ask him before saying yes. I had to learn this lesson myself when I first got out here in this dating world.
It's
But
called
because I am
qualifying your
a
suitor.
mean ass Capricorn, you ain't gonna have too many chances to try to fuck me over.
I
Okay?
want to back up real quick though, because you said a word. You said
Go ahead.
manipulative man. There was no manipulation. He made it known what he wanted.
No, no,
Mm.
no. There's manipulation because of the way he worded it. He did not make it known. Let me tell you
Maybe for
something.
you,
There
what I'm
is
saying
there
is
is a
I've seen
lie
in other
by omission.
scenarios.
Hold on, hold on. There is a lie by omission, and there is a flat out lie. A lie by omission is because I just didn't say it. They were on two different conversations, but 9 times out of 10, the man will pick up on the fact that they're on two different conversations, but not the female. He'll just feed and play right into it. That is indeed a form of manipulation.
Well, you know what? Women also and men need
Women
to
do it
qualify.
too. I'm not excluding.
Well,
I
well,
ain't excluding
But
them.
my
well,
only, my only,
that's not what I'm saying, though. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Okay.
that both parties need to qualify their suitor. If you're
I like
chasing
that.
this woman, you need to qualify the woman that you're chasing. Women, before you engage with a man, you need to qualify the suitor, and
that
also
part.
you need
Okay,
to
I like that.
watch, right, and listen, because that person is going to show you who they really are. And if
That
it
part.
doesn't line up, then you have a decision to make. Can I put up with this, or should I get rid of this? But you need to qualify the one you're chasing, and ladies, qualify your suitors. That's it.
why we need the three of us. You see that? You
But
see
see,
that?
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like I said, if
part?
all right, I may not, he may not have laid out everything he wants, but at the same time, what he's not saying says a lot. And I think people need to pay attention to that. Same thing with women. You know, what that woman isn't saying or isn't doing. I don't buy anybody's words. Words are cute. They are nice.
Yep.
Your actions got to back up your words.
Very true.
That's true.
If
That's
your
true.
actions don't match your words, then that's empty calories, baby.
Right.
I don't
the
want
fruit
it.
match the
That
tree?
and I can't say that's
iceberg
manipulation. I
No
can't say that.
nutritional value.
That's the only reason I said that. I can't say that's manipulation because the truth was right in front of you.
No, it
You
was.
wanted to.
Okay, listen.
If the
me as a
actions
woman,
of the person never aligned with the things that they said,
you don't know that right up front. Because remember, we say depends on what the questions you ask. Sometimes you may not know the questions to ask until after you realize you have been manipulated into something.
hear me out.
I know
So,
this because I
what
have
I'm
been
saying-
manipulated into
Yeah,
things,
ladies, if you
thinking
can't call him
that
late at night,
a man is one thing and he's not that thing. And I tell myself a pretty smart chick.
ladies, you can't call him at night.
Hear me out. So I'm gonna tell the story. I'm not gonna use names
Oh
because
no,
I
I
don't
can call him
want
any
to
time
air
of day.
anybody out.
It
I don't
wasn't
want to air
like
anybody out.
that.
I'm just
So-
doing it. I was being joyous with just being funny.
So I'm gonna be
Go
quick
ahead.
with this though. But hear me out. So there was a
Okay.
young lady I knew. She kept having the same issues with me. And I kept telling her, based on the things that I'm witnessing, based on the things you're telling me, the experiences, everything, the text message you've shown me, you keep falling for the same type. I said, I'm just going to, if you allow me to be honest, I'm going to tell you your truth, okay? I said, you keep falling for the same type. The men talk about what they would like, what they want to experience, things of that nature, whatever, okay? And they don't bring the same energy. They talk about it, but they don't bring the same energy. Yet you are always so willing to go to the next level for them because you want to show them what you're capable of. But again, if he ain't stepped out there for you, why are you willing to do this? So after having so many of these encounters, she chilled for a minute and then she met a guy online. Okay. I said, hey, I'm not big on the online thing. I don't, I got trust issues, certain things like that. I need to see you. I need to feel you. I need to know you're a real person. Catfish is picking me up too.
Mute, Jonathan, mute your mic.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'm so sorry. Yep, this podcast is.
I got it. So, upon meeting him, I told her two quick things though. I said, if you deal with this person, you let this person come to you. You do not go to them first. Let this person come to you, okay? This will show you how truly interested they are in you. And even when they come to you, they are not to stay with you. And you are not to plan anything.
Right.
You just make sure you are available and ready to have a good time. Okay?
Right.
Be present in the moment. That's what you do. Be transparent and be present in the moment. That's all you do. She gave it a couple of months, and then the next thing I know, she said, whoa, I'm going out there. What?
Going out where she was going?
Well, me and my homegirl, so it don't get twisted. Me and my homegirl are going to go.
Okay.
And get us a room. We're going to stay out in the area or whatever. And I'm going to be able to see him while I'm out there. I said, this sounds like you actually trying to go to him, but you're trying to find a back door.
Right.
Because you're being impatient. And what I wanted her to get is you're being impatient. It's been a few months and he ain't tried to come see you yet. Hello. Hello. Y'all are actually within 6 hours driving distance. Trust me. If I want to get to you, I'm going to get to you. 6 hours for me as a driver ain't nothing. All right. So she tried to, and I told her, I said, I don't think it's a good idea. She went anyway. Her friend girl didn't go. She gets out there. She gets a hotel room. The guy doesn't make time for her. He has kids. And all of a sudden he says, well, I didn't really realize that you were coming, even though she communicated this to him. He said, I didn't really realize that you were coming. And there we go. Okay.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either on that, but the guy, so back it up just for a sec. She goes out there, the guy, the friend girl doesn't come, and the guy doesn't really make time for her like that. Again, he never promised her anything because again, she told him she was coming, but she didn't do this as a I'm coming out there, so I need you to plan things and make sure you take that. That's not what happened. At the same time, if I'm interested in you and I know you're coming, I'm gonna set some time to the side because I know you got your thing, but I want to make sure so I'm gonna sync schedules up, something, because I need to. This is our first time really getting it, you know.
And she was hoping her Lulu would come true.
So
now,
she
that's
gets
a different
out
story.
there.
Yeah.
She gets out there. She has to catch Uber to the hotel. He's not available to pick her up from the airport. She goes and she spends time with herself out there in his city because he's not available.
Did this just recently happen? The girl didn't come to New Orleans, did you? Because I had a girl in my lift. And I swear this sounds like her story.
This ain't that. This ain't that.
Okay.
But then he says, well, all of a sudden his baby mama was no longer available to keep the kids, so he got the kids. That's why he said he couldn't see her.
Lord. Okay.
So he didn't come to her till like 10 o'clock that night. He'll leave about 1. I think the next day, he took her out for lunch, brought her back to the room, dropped her off, had to go get his kids and everything. That was it though. They never saw each other.
Well, I get that situation. Y'all talk for 2 months. Clearly, she's ignoring the signs.
That's what I'm saying. That's not manipulation.
That's delusional.
He never gave you any inkling that he really wanted you like that.
But he did.
I laid the blueprint out for what to do.
He did it not give her an inkling because he still showed up.
Hey man, we wrong. I told you, I don't go based off what you ain't always got to tell me.
All women don't do
actions
that.
Are going to speak so loud.
Most women are going to say, well, he showed up, so that must mean he liked me. Now, I know that's delusional, but hear me out. You gave the male version of the story, okay? If you're talking to me on the phone and you're entertaining me to any degree, whether you call me at 10 o'clock at night or 1 in the morning, or you give me all these excuses, because women are wired emotionally and men are wired logically. Emotionally, she's thinking, oh, he's really still digging me because he answers my phone calls. I came to his city. Oh, he can't come right now, but he coming. And the fact that he showed up, regardless of the circumstances of why he was late, she's still going to give him the benefit of the doubt because she is not logically, practically, pragmatically thinking about this connection. We ain't even call it a relationship, connection that she has. Now, if she would take a step back.
Okay.
And listen to me. I am a female. When a girl first likes a guy, Me and my daughter was talking about this the other night. She said, "Oh my goodness, one of my coworkers, she like a dude at work." She said, "You know, Mama, she in full Delulu land right now." I said, "Girl, yeah, you know she gonna be in Delulu land for a month."
You know
You
what? She
know
sounds
why?
like Heather Headley.
Because girls like guys, and when we like them, we're not going through all the scenarios logically of how this could work, not work. What question should I be asking him? Now, 49-year-old me, yes. 29-year-old me didn't even have this problem. I was married, okay? 49-year-old me knows to ask all these different things and then to see if your actions gonna line up with your words. Because if they don't, you're gonna be blocked and you ain't never gotta worry about me no more ever.
So
Does her age
does
matter?
that
Because she
mean
was in the 30 plus community. And when I say 30 plus, she was over 35.
So
that
she
means
was over. Now
she didn't have
it's still
anybody
some women
taught her?
my age that do this. Don't get me
What
wrong.
that means
It's still
she
some
didn't have
women my
anybody
age
teach
like
her
this.
better.
I mean,
So
I'm
the
saying
older
like this.
women,
Delusional.
but don't the older women have to reach back and teach the younger women these things? Because
I mean, because I was
if
trying to do
not,
it as a male, but I like somebody got to teach it because this sounds absolutely asinine. Because if the
but
dude did this, I smack him upside his head.
right,
Well,
so
You
it's like
deserve everything you get because as mad as
we
you want to
keep
be at her, you put yourself
yeah.
out there.
thank you. These are conversations we have when we go out for mimosas. Because there's always one girl sitting at the table that's stupid in the Lulu. And when all of us get enough mimosas in us, guess what we say? We say the same thing you just said to her, little bitch.
I don't need no
We
mimosas.
we tired. Even if we didn't have them, what I'm saying is we're going to tell her eventually, girl, you stupid. If you gonna keep putting up with this, don't call us. Don't come hang out with us. Don't call our phone. You done been in and out with Reggie and JJ for 5 years. He ain't married you. You ain't got no ring. He got 3 babies during the whole course of y'all relationship. And now one of them is for you. But you still with him. Don't tell us no more. We do tell our friend girls that.
this sounds like a Tyler Perry storyline. I'm just gonna say that.
Why do you think Tyler Perry shows do so well? You got Beauty in the Black, you got Sisters, you got Zatima, you got A House Divided, you got Greenleaf.
Oh, by the way,
All
I
the
ain't tell you.
same
I did want to see this.
scenarios
I'm sorry, I
with
did
the
want to tell you
relationships. What?
when I forgot to mention this too. When I
What?
did say he took her to lunch the next day, right?
Mm.
Took her to Whataburger.
That's not lunch. No, ma'am. No, no. No, sir. No,
Look.
sir.
The night he came over,
Mm.
he gave her a ride so she can go and buy her something to eat.
You know, but it sounded like it was in Texas. Ain't Whataburger only in Texas?
Yes. No, it's in Mississippi too now. And it's in Georgia now
We
too.
got a Whataburger somewhere in New
Whataburger's
Orleans.
spreading out.
They got one in New Orleans.
Yeah,
They got a
they spreading out.
Whataburger.
Sure do.
That's
It's in
crazy.
Slidell. They got one in
Is
Slidell.
it in Slidell?
I think it's one in Slidell. No, that was Sliders. My bad. The Sliders
Yeah,
joint.
I don't like sliders. But anyway, listen, it doesn't matter. If women have not, if they've always been that way, they're going to always be that way. I think the crack in the foundation that started as a little bitty fisher way back when we integrated and we adopted a lot of habits from other cultures that we probably should not have. And had we not adopted those habits from other cultures, gentle parenting,
That's
in
stupid.
the, feminism, and I don't have nothing wrong with women going out and working. I like making my own money. I love it. But at the same time, I like for my man to make more and take care of me. I have no problem being submissive at home and doing what I need to do. But we got away from that too. Okay? We
Because
got
that was
away
looked
from
at as
that.
being weak. And I think that people don't understand. People assimilate the word submissive and weak. And they are not synonymous. They don't belong
No, they're
together
not.
at all.
They're not
At
synonymous.
all. Honestly, to be submissive actually truly shows the strength in a person. Because you want to know what they talk about in marriage? It ain't just a woman who's being submissive. A husband has to be submissive to his wife as well.
Yes.
I gotta submit because your needs are just as valid as mine.
Very true.
You see what I'm
And the
saying?
other thing we don't want to be anymore because we've taught not only to be individualistic society and feminism rules, we've also been taught that vulnerability is also equal to weakness. And so for in marriage, in love, men cannot show their vulnerable side. How are you ever going to get married if she can't submit and you can't be vulnerable?
You know what? So
It won't come together. It will
see that
never come together.
that's
Wait
a
a
red
minute.
pill.
Wait a
That's a
minute.
red pill philosophy right there.
Ask that question. Hold on. She need to ask that question again.
Listen, because think about it.
Say it
We keep
again.
we keep saying that same shit. Women say I ain't being submissive because they equate that to being subservient, being weak. Men are gonna say I'm not gonna be vulnerable because I'm not a sucker. I'm not a sucker duck. I'm not a buster. I'm not a simp. I think that's the word they use. If you won't compromise on your end with being vulnerable and you won't with the submission, how are we going to have relationships? How are we
It's
going to
hard.
move
So
forward?
so
It's
why
hard
are
because
people
neither
so determined to get married when they don't even really understand these two main things that you're speaking of?
because no one's taught them what it really means to be married, to be in a relationship, and to be intimate. And for them, and I've said this before, intimacy is basically into me, I need for you to see. I need for you to see all the parts of me that are hurt, that are healed, that may not be healed, but this is who I am. That's true intimacy. Into me, I need for you to see. And it goes vice versa, right? And that's for us to be in concert, right? Here's we take off the mask. No more Paul Lawrence Dunbar, right? We remove the mask. This is who I really am.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And here's the crazy part in a relationship, and you two know this because you're married. We are reflections of one another. We mirror the other one. So anytime you're having a conversation with your partner and something pricks you inside, that's an indication that maybe I need to dig a little deeper and think about what it was that triggered me before I fly off the handle and project it onto the other person. We don't really talk about that a lot either. Now, I was married for a long time, y'all. 25 years is a long time. And we did that for the better part of that time frame. And unfortunately for me, I stayed in that mindset after the divorce because I don't, it's taken a while to figure out how not to be a wife after you've been a wife for 25 years. It's like somebody went to prison for 25 years, but they got out and they trying to figure out how to be on the free side when they've been over there inside the walls for that long. It kind of take a minute to. So some of the things I don't rock with, I don't understand women, and we might have to do Diddy another week. Just know, y'all, Diddy having the worst week of his fucking life right now. Okay, that's my update on Diddy. That Negro is having the worst week ever. All right.
What happened
Followed
to
by,
him? What's going on?
followed by Shannon Sharp. His
Fuck
ass.
around. He just fuck around all the time.
Man, look, y'all, Shannon Sharp so happy right now. He said, "Ooh, god dang, I'm so glad that heat off me. I'm so glad it's not off you, bro. It's not off you. But this is what
Monique
I'm
tried
gonna
to tell
say.
you, bro.
Try to
Monique
tell
tried
you.
to tell him.
Monique
Cat Williams
and
tried to
Cat
tell him.
Williams tried to tell you.
Now listen, I'm gonna say this because next week we're gonna talk about all this is such a good conversation. And I really don't know how to not be a wife. So I'm currently not dating because men out here in this client don't fucking know shit about relationships, about being
Well,
vulnerable, about
Where
conversation.
can I tell
it,
you this?
So, I'm just not.
Let me do this
there's
for you
poo
real quick.
Mm,
in the dating pool.
Again, this is why I tell people personalize marriage.
mm,
Marriage is not a one size fits all thing. Being a wife isn't a one size fits all thing.
right.
So you were his wife. Y'all are no more.
I can't.
Therefore,
That's
you
not something
can't.
I can break in 5 years.
All I'm saying is just kind of keep reminding yourself that if ever somebody else comes along, they have to create and build up a whole new wife in you
That's true.
because you
They
can't be
better
the
be. They
same.
better. I'm not trying. No, I'm not that same person. But those
Dude,
principles don't go away. Those traditional
Mm.
principles of being a wife don't go away. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying the person that I conformed to be for my ex is the person I'm going to be. I mean the principles of marriage, of being a wife, of being submissive, of cleaning, of seeing to my spouse and to my children. That will never change in me. I know me. That part won't change. Me conforming to whatever the new person is, yes, but I need that new person to not take advantage of what I'm bringing, which makes dating so hard because it's hard to start the conversation when everybody just wants to say like, what you doing, how are you, and that's, you can't even get past that in the conversation. And I'm starting to think either they put something in our food like on they clone Tyrone that has dumbed us all down, or I don't know where the intelligent black men are. They are not on the dating apps. I know
They don't
that.
listen to Luther no more.
Well, they need to go back and
Luther
listen to
told him.
Luther.
He told him exactly what to say. Excuse me, miss. What's your name? Where are you from?
And I'm gonna
Can
tell
I
you what
come?
blew a hole in it too. Not only did the foundation crack and we lost a lot of it takes a village to raise a child, and then we lost a lot of the spiritual, I'm not saying religious, technically spiritual things that we grew up on. Then in this minor age, we have the Kevin Samuels of the world, and although he's dead, he has a whole following, and it's a female version of him. She's alive, I think, and well, but she kind of preaches that same toxic shit except to women. I don't watch her, so I don't know her name. So then we got that, running around here in what's already a chaotic society. So it's hard for the people who have sense, logic, and intellect to find each other because we're having to sift through so much. So I just decided I ain't sifting through nan dating site. I don't have not one. If God don't bump that man into me some kind of way in the real world, I'm gonna be single to the day I die. And I'm gonna be happily
You
single.
mentioned the name.
I might go through a couple of vibrators and dildos, but bitch, I'm gonna be happy.
She got a whole graveyard.
You better know I'm gonna
we
be.
cross using the wiring from the last one.
Yeah,
It's still good. It's
look.
still good.
This
This
is
is
what
my
I'm gonna be
travel one. I'm
doing.
gonna
Look,
keep this
y'all.
one in the suitcase.
This is what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, let me see if I can take. Let's see if we can. Oh, it work. It work. I got it. That's gonna be me. Just up here experimenting. Let's see how.
But you know what?
See which
Your
one
shock
works.
value gonna be up though. But I mean, like, but you gonna be safe.
He said your shock value gonna
Shock
be
value gonna be up. Now,
up.
hey, but for
That's
real,
what we
here's
are.
the
That's
thing.
what we are.
You said a name, and I do want to clear something. So people say
Okay.
Kevin Samuels, and it's almost like saying the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
The truth is, Kevin Samuels was an asshole.
Yeah, he was.
And that part of it, I did not agree with him. But Kevin Samuels did speak logically and give real honest answers that some women need to hear. It's just his delivery was shit.
Oh,
Well,
it's terrible.
let's go
It
back to
was
Kevin.
absolutely
Let's go back
terrible.
to Kevin.
It
So
was like he would embarrass people. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
he made a
that's so
point of it.
unnecessary.
it was bullying. It was an almost intellectual type of bullying. So
Right.
here's the deal.
It was
Kevin-
demeaning. It was very
It was-
demeaning to women.
So I want you guys to
Although
understand
they
something
called
about
in
Kevin. I
with
want
their
you to
dumb
understand something
asses.
about Kevin.
But yes.
So Kevin that wasn't even his when he got on YouTube at first. He was living here in Dallas, and then he moved to Atlanta. He was doing more of a he was looking at image. He was an image consultant and everything. That was good because he had some good content then, but it wasn't popping off. It wasn't until he started feeding to the manosphere is when his content he found a lane. He was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna feed this beast, and it grew, and it grew, and the more he bashed and gave them what they wanted, it was same thing. The orange Cheeto. I'm not going to even say his name. Worthy.
I know
He's done. He's fed to a need of angry people to help him get to where he was. Kevin Samuels did it with the manosphere, the same fashion. Right? He discovered there were people there. He gave them a scapegoat. It's women. It's women who don't, because you, sir, you who flip fries and make $9.25 an hour, or you are a high value male. And you,
Now
I don't
hold
think he
on,
said
hold
and
on.
that
you,
now.
Kevin didn't do that. Now hold on, because
I
Kevin
don't
would.
think he
that's how,
said
Hey,
that.
that's how these guys were feeling. You
but
understand?
that's the thing though.
Yeah.
If they weren't stupid enough to call in, because if they did, he would tell you
Yeah, he would
as a
tell
man
me.
straight to your face.
Yeah.
Your $9 hour fry flipping ass is a piece of shit too. Like he tell you straight
Now
up.
I have heard him do men that. I
Oh yeah,
have heard
that
him,
was it. He was an
tell
equal
men that
opportunist
too.
with that.
But and I just
But
couldn't
they
for the life of me
felt these.
understand how women can. I'm like, why do women keep
Why do they
calling in?
keep
What the hell
calling?
wrong with them?
It's kind of like a mosquito around the blue light.
You're like, what the hell you doing,
Like,
girl?
why do y'all keep a trick? They can't help it.
This man done raided you for filth, and then you done called your ass back in here 2 weeks later. Did you go to the slow classes in high school? Was you in the basement? You were in the classes in the basement. Since they told me, my youngest daughter told me I could not say the R word. So either some of these men and women were in the slow classes in the basement, or I'm missing something somewhere. But let me tell y'all my Kevin Samuels uh cult experience. Do we have
Oh,
time today, church?
you have a
We
cult
got
member that,
we
that
got
you
a
want to
few minutes.
expose?
I do. Do we have time today, church, or should we
Go
table this?
go ahead and
Let me
expose
clean my
this
goddamn glasses.
this red pillar. Red
All
pillar.
right, we had a red pillow. Okay, so I was on Facebook, and I recently got back on Facebook, but I'm about to get back off because Meta tripping again. They tagged two of my posts for inappropriate, and they were two birthday posts. I don't get
Oh
it, but
yeah, they
anyway,
came for
long
me
story short, one of the guys that I follow put this post up about women who divorce their spouses looking to get like a better um a better option. But what they find out is they end up out there and these 10 negative things happen to them. Now I can't read from here what that says,
I
but can
got
one of
you.
you all read the 10?
I got you. So number one, no one else will tolerate what their husband did. Okay. These are 10 painful realities women only realize after destroying themselves after it's too late. This is what he says. Number one, no one else will tolerate what their husband did. The man they dumped was patient, loving, and forgiving. But outside, no man is willing to deal with your entitled, combative behavior.
Is that
Shall I
all
keep?
10?
Oh, you want all 10? Okay. Number two, feminism doesn't pay rent. Online feminists will hype you up, but when you're broke, lonely, and falling apart, they won't offer a dime or a shoulder. Number three, sexual market value drops with age. You're not 24 anymore. You're older, more baggage, less patience. The options shrink, the demands increase, and most men now want younger, feminine, peaceful women. Number four, freedom is just loneliness in disguise. You thought you were escaping a boring marriage. Now you're eating dinner alone, faking happiness on Instagram, and battling depression in silence. Number five, your kids suffer the most. You broke a family to chase trends. Now the children grow up emotionally fractured, no father, no stability, no structure. Six, being a single mother is not a badge of honor. You thought it made you strong. It made like 10 times harder. Now, no high value man wants to sign up for a ready made burden. Number seven, hyper hypergamy is a headline. You wanted a richer man, a more exciting man. Now you realize the pool you thought was full is actually shallow. Number eight, attention is not the same as respect. You may still get likes and DMs, but no one respects you anymore. Your entertainment, not investment. Your entertainment, not investment. Number nine, peace is priceless, and you threw it away. He wasn't perfect, but he gave you peace. Now your world is chaos, drama, and anxiety, and you caused it. 10, the internet doesn't care about your regret. You followed strangers online. Now you're suffering online. You're suffering offline. And guess what? They've moved on. You're the one paying the price. This is the reality of modern women who traded submission for rebellion, family for fantasy, and wisdom for TikTok advice. Let this be a warning. Not all that glitters is gold. Don't forget to give me a follow. Whatever.
I think somebody hurt that man really,
Oh, really
because
bad. Really
yeah,
bad.
because yeah, all women are not a monolith. You know, all women do not fall in one bucket. They are an array, just as many as men. So yeah, that
And see, here's the thing. He used
yeah.
that word submission right there at the end, baby. What you're talking about is subservience. But the totality of that is that's a hurt man speaking right there. I left
Mm-hmm,
him a comment. I asked him a question. I said, okay, what advice do you have if the man divorces his wife? Then
mm-hmm.
what? So the guy who originally put the post up did not reply to my comment, but some other guys did reply to the comment. Could you read it? Because again, I'm on my phone. I can't read it from here.
So you ask, yeah, what if the husband divorces his wife? What's your advice for him? Your scenario doesn't fit every divorced woman in the world, only those within your perspective and worldview. And some lady says we have an entire culture of inappropriate behavior. And then Derek King responds, "There's no way you're 50 plus talking like a 10-year-old. Not every single person. Duh fucking duh. An exception doesn't change the rule. If someone has to explain to this, okay, you got me, buddy. To an old person, I can see why a relationship doesn't work. You commented, I see my comment triggered that wounded little 10-year-old still residing in your adult body for shame. You still didn't answer the question. And you want me to go on and finish it out?
Oh yeah, read the whole thing.
I see my comment. Yeah,
You said that part. Let's see what else.
yeah, you don't have to mansplain anything to me, grasshopper. My question was a redundant one based on your very limited view of single women and or women who are divorced. Trust me, I know the answer to my own question. That's why it's called redundancy. So here's a lesson for you, and I hope it sticks. Learn to speak from your perspective and experience with and of women only. Stop generalizing women. It's clear you have misogyny running through your veins, something you should probably take up with God. Somebody named Zion goes, I think he's following statistics. I take it you don't watch Kevin Samuels. You said, I absolutely don't watch Kevin Samuels. The person named Zion said it shows common women don't often study men or statistics. And you responded, you're deep into the red pill rabbit hole, I see. I've studied way more than you could ever imagine, but carry on. I'm sure that red pill philosophy is working for you, sir.
Okay, yeah,
And
that's it. That's pretty much it. Here's the crazy part, though. Uh, I don't. The dude, Derek is the one. Derek, what was his last name? We don't know.
King, I think.
Derek King, sir. I don't know who hurt you, but
Yeah, Derek King.
he really needs to keep it. Dwayne and I had this conversation last night. People should only speak within their sphere of experience
Yep.
with the women and or men in their lives. We have to stop, and Wayne said it way early in the show. We have to stop generalizing the entire populace of women or either men. I love men. Okay? One of those made up terms that people use, and it has stuck today, is cisgender, which means I'm a heterosexual woman who prefers men. We shouldn't even need all them fucking words to say I'm a woman and I desire a man. Okay? But we have all these things out here. And now we have the women fighting against the men and the trans women fighting against the trans women fighting against the regular women, and the trans women dating down low men who pretend to be straight men, dating straight women who are red pill men because they hate women and they hate themselves for wanting to stick their whatever inside of a trans woman. And then now the straight women hate the trans women because the trans women are dating the DL men. I know that's a whole other conversation, but this is part of Wonderland.
Damn it! Oh, fucking damn it! Oh, damn it!
It's part of it.
Wait,
That is confusing. That confused me. I was trying to follow you. It was going. I
It's
was.
not confusing. It is not. It's a lot of men who are down low who pretend to be straight, who are really causing a lot of confusion, and half of them run these retarded ass red pill podcasts.
Ooh, you know
hey
what?
man,
I
And
believe
you
it.
don't, y'all don't have to touch this subject,
Mhm,
but I
mhm.
was in
No, no,
church
no,
no,
a
no,
long
no.
no.
time. There are a
I'm
lot of
with you.
down low men who
That's
don't like women,
they're
but
the
they
ones who are
use
giving
women as
podcasts
a
a hard
facade.
time.
They're giving them such a bad name.
I mean
That's why
that's
Such a
why a
bad name.
whole
take the podcast and flip it away. I'm like, there are actually some people out here trying to help. That's what we've been trying to do with I Am Woe Media Group, and I know specifically my I Am Woe podcast. That's all we've been trying to do is actually help. We're not here to talk, shame, and hurt nobody
Right.
like that.
Mm-mm.
We want
No.
to put things out on Front Street, call things what they are. Let's address them so we can heal and move forward.
Right.
But if you
We
are
actually
part of
want
that community, whether
answers
you
and resolution to your situation, not just blow
But it's
up
right,
your
part of
life.
the confusion. I got
right.
it's that whole dismissing black women, dark skinned black women, light skinned black women, um, competition between women. You don't hear guys like you talking about this. You don't hear intellectual guys who have some common sense online talking about this. You hear those bitter guys, those down low brothers, those ones that's been hurt by women, those ones who really don't like women. They like men, but they pretend to like women. It's
And then the
in the rap
incel.
music. It's a lot of hate in the rap music against black women. And it's been that way for years. We're not going to sugarcoat that. I like hip hop, but it's there. It's so many layers. It's like an onion. And now we're like, how did we get to this? It's just been compound on top of compound on top of compound. And now we have this weird ass women versus men online. I don't understand that. And I
That
ain't
shit
been
is
living under a rock, but I don't get that at all.
that shit is
You know,
disgusting to me.
I
there was
don't
a
get it.
person that said that a nation can only rise as high as its women. So if we are going to be in community with each other,
You see my favorite.
what
Do you see who the first lady of the United States is right now?
I'm talking about the black nation. But
Oh,
anyway,
okay. All right.
Hey,
Wait a minute.
because again, I was just sitting over here like,
Well, okay.
but
I was wondering.
again, no. So what I was saying, but it's in our communities. Let me restate that in our
Okay.
communities can only rise as high as our women. And so if you are putting your foot on her neck, if you are hating the women, the people who give us babies for our communities, then you are killing our communities. You
What
are
did the
killing
prophet
relationships.
Tupac say? What did the prophet Tupac say?
He's like said that we're gonna make babies that hate the ladies.
Yeah, we'll
If you
raise
can
a race
race
of
of
some
babies that
babies,
will
hate
make
the
the
ladies.
babies and hate the ladies.
the
Where are
ladies.
we right now? We are there.
Mm.
We are there.
And
Oh,
he saw it from a distance away, and now
But you know what? I think your perspective, I always say perspective matters.
mhm.
Do you know the way I view my people, black people, I view us like a pride of lion. Do you know the importance of the female lion, the lioness? She's actually the hunter.
the
Yep.
hunter. Yep, she's the
And
hunter.
she is she is the biggest protector of the king.
Yep.
Like she will put her life on the line to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really want to know the truth, fellas, let's go ahead and have this real conversation. Ain't nobody gonna fight harder for your black ass than a black woman.
True. Very true. Nobody.
Fight harder, pray harder.
Oh man.
Nobody.
Oh
Nobody.
man.
We'll scrape up money for you. You know,
Mhm.
if you're no one is has your back like her. I'm just
Let me
gonna
tell you
say
something.
from my experience, because I don't have black mamas, black grandmamas. I don't got black mama, black grandmamas, aunts, uncles, cousins, sisters, daughters. Won't nobody fight. It's hard for you
Right.
Kendrick Lamar,
with black women.
You see who the star he is now, but you see how
Mm-hmm.
he whooped Drake ass verbally.
Oh my God, he
Mm-hmm.
did.
There had been warnings of this. There had been warnings of this. If you go back to the Damn album,
Mm-hmm.
he has a song where the hook is basically, "Ain't nobody praying for me."
Oh yeah.
He lost his grandmother, and that was his biggest prayer warrior. Like she went to bat for him harder than anybody. His grandmother's gone, and he'll tell you in the song, "Ain't nobody praying for me." And then you can hear his voice start to switch as the song changes. But that also goes into the same persona. The reason that this man went ape shit the way he has,
Yeah.
because ain't nobody there that can calm him. Also, think about it too. For you Marvel heads, this is me.
And me. For sure, me.
My wife and I, she views herself, she views us. She calls me Hulk. She's the Black Widow.
Okay.
If you think about all the Avengers,
Yep.
there was only one who could get Hulk to calm the fuck down.
Yep.
Yep.
And it was Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The woman in the group. Before they really just, like I said, it was about 6 of them. And she was the only woman.
The Russian spy.
Saying from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. The Russian spy.
Yeah. And so that's where I'm like, you know, that is true. There are men who could absolutely lose it to the things, the pressures of this world. And the only person who can reach them is that woman.
Right.
And it depends on what level it's over. Before he gets that woman, gets to his woman, it's his mama or his grandma.
Right.
Once he gets his woman becomes his woman because she's the one who can call.
She's closest to him now. She's closest to him now.
I feel for those guys who have lost both mother and grandmother, especially if they were closer to that particular set of the grandmother, the matriarchal grandmother in their mother. Think of them losing those two. And I don't know what the relationship is with the dad, because sometimes dads are not in the picture with Black men specifically.
You know why?
And then we have that. No one's praying for them, they feel like.
Somebody, and there are certain women who have an issue with men having the certain relationship they do with their mothers and grandmothers. And it's not always that they're a mama's boy. Do you know that they were the only ones in the world when things got rough that told them everything gonna be okay, baby? That's nurturing. They would actually be the one to give them a hug and rub their head and say, and rub their back and say, calm down, everything gonna be okay. You don't always do that.
You know what?
You're
right.
The world doesn't care that you're hurting right now.
Right.
You got to push forward. The only ones who will nurture you is your mother, your aunties, your grandmother. They'll actually rub your back and your head and calm you down and say, baby, it's gonna be okay. Get your stuff together. So when you don't have that in your life,
that's tough.
That man can become absolutely chaotic now because he has no one to tell him. Because he has a woman, you actually probably have more people in your life, girlfriends, sisters, things of that nature, maternal women who have maternal instincts in your life than that man does.
Right.
But you know what? I mean, I think that the husband and wife or the mother and father a lot of times exemplify that yin and yang that we need in our lives in order to make us whole. You know, where one is strong masculinity, and when that masculinity ends, that's where the other partner's femininity is great, and it creates a complete circle for you, right?
Yeah.
And so in every person, whether you're male or female, you have qualities of both. You're supposed to have qualities of masculinity, one of femininity, right? And so now some people are going to hear this and be like, oh, there go Jay. You're talking about men who are feminine and they're weak. That's not it. Because having some type of nurturing in you, if you're a father, you should have some type of feelings of nurturing for your children, even for your wife. Because guess what? If you married that woman, you guys are tied through sickness and in health, right? And so when she's sick, you're supposed to be able to nurture your wife, feed into her, and bring her back. So you got to have both sides, and that's what having
it's
those
balance.
two energies there are balanced.
That's what yin yang is. Why do y'all think I love Teo Te Ching so much? The Tao.
The Tao.
I have literally been practicing the Tao. I love the balance in that. It takes away the ego. It takes away men are only masculine and women are only feminine because you lose a part of yourself when you go into this world thinking you are one dimensional. And we are not, we're multidimensional. We're not just male, female, anger,
Mm-hmm.
wisdom, love. We're not just these one components. We come here with all of this spiritually. And if you all didn't know, the term psyche is the Greek term that means spirit. If you don't believe me, go look it up.
Mm.
Psyche means spirit. Our spirits are both masculine and feminine, yin
Mm-hmm.
and yang. And when you can find a partner, and God bless y'all, because you have partners who can balance that with you. As one lady told me a long time ago, it wasn't that long ago. She said an old man told her when her husband and her got married 36 years ago. Sometimes, sir, you will have to drive the bus. But there will come a time in life when your wife has got to drive the bus of life. You need each other. In those times, no matter how hard it gets, you have to sit and have the conversation. I don't have it in me right now. I need you to drive the bus. Whoever is the strongest in the moment drives the bus. Does it make him any less masculine? It doesn't make her any more masculine. It doesn't make him any more feminine. It doesn't make her less feminine. She said, we've learned to do this together. We balance each other. And they are rich together right now today, baby, living a beautiful life. Because they understand that principle of balance. We got to get back to that some kind of way. And look, the show is about running in 2 hours, and we didn't even do break. Y'all can count that plea to help me on GoFundMe as part of our commercial break because I do need the help. And I'm going to have to get off of here, but there it is. I'm going to have it posted in the description box below, along with the other stuff we talked about today. Please follow I Am Woe Media Group, Jonathan Hawkins, and the 4040 Network. We do appreciate y'all so very much. But I want to keep this conversation going. This was a good one. This
Absolutely.
was such a
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I feel better. I hope y'all feel just as relieved as I do.
I
I
feel
know
amazing.
sometimes I can go off the rails, but y'all just stay with me. I'll come back on. I'll come back on the
Hey, you
rails.
know
Mhm.
we here. We here.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody tuning in. Like I said, everything we say and do is meant out of love. I'm gonna be straightforward. I'm a straight shooter, but I'm not a Kevin Samuels. I'm not like I told you when I mentioned the young lady that I knew of or whatever.
Mm.
The only reason I said what I said about that earlier is because what's the point in asking for the answers to the test if you just gonna reject them?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
laid out everything to you so you, as a 30 plus, 35 plus year old woman, can make the necessary decisions to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? I gave you what you needed, and you still chose to put yourself in harm's way.
Right.
And she came back just to finalize that. She came back home absolutely disappointed, absolutely crushed because nothing went the way she hoped. But I told her, I said, you fooled yourself
Yeah.
because you knew that trip to you meant more than just you and your girl hanging out, even though she didn't go with you. But if it was based around you and her going to hang out, when she told you she couldn't go, you should have counseled.
Right. She should have
Well,
canceled.
maybe that was a learning experience, and
Well,
sometimes
here's the thing.
we
The truth
all
cost
get
me a
smacked.
friendship. The truth cost me a friendship. I am no longer friends with this person because they didn't like the truth. I
well,
didn't Kevin Samuels them,
well, that's on them
but
though.
the
That's
truth,
but that's on them.
but that's the stuff that I'm saying though. That
I
she's not a
mean,
one-off.
oh no,
She's
she's
not a
not a
majority
what that
either.
happens all the time. No, hell
Right.
no, I hope not, because then I would make black women look stupid, and we are not that.
Right. That's what I said. So, but I think we do need to be honest with ourselves. You got to
I think
stop.
she's too embarrassed to actually tell you that you were right. She's too embarrassed.
But
So
see, if
it's
you know
so
me,
she's
you know I
separated
don't
from
give a fuck
ego.
about being right. I really
But
don't.
but for her,
Like
it's
I'll take
ego. It was
I'll
her
let
ego.
you feel right if that's what you need to hear. Because if I know I'm right, it'll come back around. But I don't care. I don't give a damn about being right. I just want us to learn from our mistakes. And
Right.
I get tired of people because these be the main ones who love to come out, point fingers, blame other people, yada yada. Own your shit.
That's because, and this is the word we did not say throughout all this podcast, especially when it comes to this particular scenario with the woman not wanting to see the truth. And even with men, who women do this to men too,
Absolutely.
it's a level of immaturity because they're not willing to take accountability for the fact that they continue to allow themselves to be made a fool of.
Wow.
And because she did not want to take accountability, she'd rather risk the friendship than admit her level of thinking, and that dumbass rationalization got her in the situation it got her in. People rationalize just to fit the scenario that they've created in their mind. That's why we have the president we have now, is because people don't believe scientists and facts anymore. They allow their opinion to be the leading factor in the decisions that they make. And they end
So,
up in terrible relationships. And
so
I'm at the age now where I'm not gonna even give you the advice. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I got a friend girl. She can call me and I'm gonna talk to her about anything. But the minute she gets talking about that man she been back and forth with for a
Baby.
decade, I gotta go. I love you, sis, girl. We're good chatting with you today. I'm gonna go ahead on get off this phone. Y'all take care, be blessed. Click. Cause you're making, like you said, at that point, a conscious choice to stay there. And I'm
Yep.
gonna be transparent about myself, but I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm not in this headspace to be trying to be committed to one person. I'm not, but I'm also not out here giving my panties up to everybody. I'm not. But I have one person that I will every now and then knock his door down. Matter of fact, he know I will bulldoze that bitch down to get up in there. Okay? Now,
oh baby, you.
that part. Biz Marquee. Food stamp on my head. Bitch, open the door. Okay? But listen, I understand. This is what I understand. And I wish more ladies would understand this principle. Um, if you're only in a connection but not in a relationship, you have no say over what that man does or does not do. Same with you. He ain't got no say over what you do and don't do until you all sit down and have the conversation that you're going to be more than just this type of connection. Now, I will say this. I like consistency in communication. That's my pet peeve.
Okay.
And the other thing I got to learn about consistency and communication is I'm not the only one who has a life. And this person has a life. And they have things going on in their life beyond women. Because, see, women think that if a man don't call me back in 3-4 days, he with another woman. It could be work. It could be family. It could be death.
Hey.
It could be an injury. It literally could be anything.
Sure, you know me. Charged to my head, not my heart.
Right.
Shit.
Right. And I know you don't mean me if I text you and you're not able to get back with me, I know we love each other. You're not doing that to spite me.
Life be
Okay?
lifing.
They really don't think like that
Jonathan.
though.
Right. Not, and if y'all text me, I'll hit you back. I got a friend, Drew. I love Drew. Oh, that's my boy. Sometimes he'll FaceTime me. I don't FaceTime him back for 3-4 days, or vice versa. We busy. He got a job and he got a business. 2 businesses, as a matter of fact. Okay. And I'm working. And at the time I was lifting. And we had this conversation. We have to do the same thing with the people that we say we like. We cannot jump in a relationship, especially us women, thinking that, oh, he's my boyfriend now. He only answers to me now. He's beholden to me. That man ain't said none of that shit. That man ain't said none of that shit to you. And I know that's where you were going with that. He said none of that shit to you. And you ain't sat down and had the conversation. But he's going to continue to entertain you if you continue to give up the cat. Because although he don't like you like that, he ain't going to pass up no free nut. We get
The
that
same way a
part.
woman,
Well,
she may not be
everybody
into
don't
you,
get that
but
part.
what
That's
you
the part.
seeing.
Yeah. And the same thing with women. If you leave with your money, she going to keep going out with you because you leave with your money. That don't mean she like you. And I'm going to be transparent again. I met a guy last year. And I didn't like him like that. But he wanted to take me out and show me a good time. And I was like, let's go. He was such a gentleman. He really was. And what turned me off the most, because again, I didn't like him like that, he started talking about wedding rings. Maybe 2 months in, he started talking about wedding, what kind of wedding ring you like, what cut of diamond you like. And so I'm like, where is this conversation going? Where is this conversation going? He was like, well, it's my goal to get married. How soon are you trying to get married? Because I told you that I did that. I'm not gonna jump back into that. Not without
Well,
getting to know a person on a very deep spiritual level.
I got it, Jayhawk.
So,
You ain't got to say it.
so we
That's
didn't
the
talk.
dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
He was talking about wedding rings, and y'all ain't even like serious.
No, we didn't have any kind of intercourse. We held hands
That
in the
was
movies.
absolutely stupid.
No. We held hands in the movies when we went.
No.
We did
Y'all
a good
weren't
night
serious.
kiss. No. Oh,
Hey, that's my point. He talking about wedding rings
Yeah,
and
we
trying to find out
were
what kind of
not
ring.
serious
And
at
y'all ain't
all.
even serious.
No,
Oh yeah,
not
yeah.
at all.
That's scary.
So
That's hella scary.
we had a serious conversation after that because I asked him, like, would he date himself? Would you date yourself? And he said no. And I was like, do you like yourself? He was like, hell no. Why would I like myself? Well, you've told me everything I need to know. That was our last date. So I did it.
I think he got confused. I ain't gonna lie to you. Their
How he
response
got
was
confused?
like he might have thought you was asking, about him liking men or something. Like
Oh no, I
think
made it clear because he said that, and I was like, no, that's not what I mean.
he
If
did
you met
say
a
it. Okay.
woman that had type of like your personality type,
Yeah, that's what I get what you say. I get what you're saying, but I'm like, maybe
would
he
you
kind of
date
was.
her? And he said, hell no. I said, so you don't like your own personality type? He was like, I don't want to date nobody like me.
Then why would anybody else want to date anybody like you?
I asked him that. Well, how do you expect anybody else to like you if you don't like yourself? He said, oh, you twisting my words. Well, I don't know how else to say it, but either way it goes, this is our last conversation. But I ain't say it like that because this man had to take me home.
It sounds like unintelligent conversation. Well, look, we need the book.
We need to get on out of here. But
Yeah.
we can talk more about this later. We talked about a lot of stuff. It's packed full of everything. So please follow, like, share, tell your friends about the 4040 Network, the I Am Woe Media Group that has more than just the 4040 Network. Jonathan Hawkins Page, who is a real estate broker for the state of Texas. Y'all find us. I'm gonna put all of this in the description box below. And until the next conversation, y'all be well, be blessed, and love God, yourself, and others.
Hey y'all, we want to say one more thing. Yes, hey, I want y'all to tell a friend to tell a friend. We're back. I know y'all missed us the last couple of weeks, but we are here. How y'all like us now?
They love us. Bye, y'all.